Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing great. This is Wanda, your host of Salty Coffee. And today we're going to have a very important conversation about the response to the Dominican Republic president who visited Columbia University recently. And the question was, what is the country going to do about racism, transphobia, homophobia, and that was started with colonialism. And that's going to be a very important conversation today. And we're going to follow up with the young lady who asked the question. And the way she asked the question, we can think about those things and say, was she inappropriate? Was she rude in asking the question the way she did? And what are we going to do about it? What are we really going to do about it when there's other countries who follow the same concepts as those in the United States? So, when you really want to ask a question about what another country is going to do for their people or other people who are not part of that country, um, but you're from a country who treats others the same way and even worse than it, because even those people who live in the United States are treated unfairly in discriminatory ways. So we're going to have that talk today.
Un, dos, y un, dos, tres, y... Bueno, sí. Camina. Rico, rico, rico. Y como dice mi coro que sigue ahí. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Escucha. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Melodía, melodía. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ay, escucha mi salsa ahora. Ahora estamos gozando para bailar, para gozar. Qué rico está. Escucha mi salsa buena. Ahí donde traigo la salsa buena, es la verdad. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Bueno, mira, escucha ahora. Si escucha mi salsa ahora, mi salsa para bailar. Este ritmo tan sabroso, el ritmo para guarachar. Yo te canto con sentimiento y manana te lo voy a dar. Muévese con sabrosura, abre la ventana para respirar. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Yo te traigo la salsa buena. Estamos gozando ahí nada más, que rico está. Escucha mi salsa buena, si yo te traigo mi salsa ahora. Estamos gozando ahí nada más. Bueno, escucha de nuevo, mira. Los tambores se están arrollando, la banda está en candela ya, todo el mundo está bailando, vente mi gente, vamos a gozar.
So we're back. We are now live on stereo, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So I'm hoping that you all are having a great Sunday. Just a couple of announcements. This October 7th, Saturday, we will be running with the Bronx District Attorney's Office with the 6th annual Run, Walk, Roll to end domestic violence. And here's a small video with it.
You are able to break free from terrible situations. You should be extremely proud of yourself. Always have that pride in yourself because you matter and you are important. And no matter how somebody else tries to make you feel, you can find the one that puts your best in that. You are amazing and always know that.
Este mensaje es para aquella persona. This message is for those that are here listening to my story or know someone that's going through the same deep, dark tunnel. No permitas nunca que alguien amarre tus manos, te vende tu boca. Never allow anyone to tie your hands, to cover your mouth. No more silence. We're going to ask for and accept help. We're going to be indestructible warriors. We're going to unite the strength of justice because we have professionals supporting us. Acompañada de la justicia, podemos gritar no más.
I survived. So can you. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I choose the word survivor because I'm not a victim. I'm still alive, and I'm still here. You have turned your pain into a purpose. And that is so important to those who feel that they're helpless and that they don't have any hope. You are there for them. You are an absolute inspiration to them, and you are inspiration to all of us.
So yes, that's gonna happen this is gonna happen this Saturday. I apologize. It's happening this Saturday beginning at 9 a.m. And don't forget to register. I will have the link to register available on the description of this video. So please just register, feel free. And if you don't get to register on time and then you decide that you want to go, just show up. Show up and give your name, give your information, complete the health record app. I think it's like a release form authorizing them that you are aware of the risk of doing this walk. So please just come join us. Even if you don't do the walk or the run, come join and listen to the families who have experienced domestic violence, which I think is important. I think it's truly important that we all just take some time. So it's the sixth annual 5K Run Walk Roll to end domestic violence this Saturday, October 7th, 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Usually they begin at 9. Um, they have some fruits and vegetables and some coffee, lots of water, and they will give out some goodies. They usually give out a T-shirt. They give out a small backpack with the essentials of what they provide to most women in homeless shelters or women who are experiencing where they have to leave their home. So these things are ready. If you would like to donate you, funds for clothing and stuff that women are able to use, and men too, children, please feel free to reach out to the Office of the Bronx District Attorney, Marcel D. In Spanish, este sábado vamos a participar en la sexta anual 5 en contra de la violencia doméstica. Este sábado a las octubre 7, de 9:30 hasta las 12 de la tarde. 12:30. Pueden caminar, pueden correr o pueden montarse en la bicicleta. Y es un importante que nosotros participemos, pero más importante es oír las historias de la familia que ha pasado por violencia doméstica y cómo el departamento y la oficina fiscal del distrito del Bronx han ayudado a esas familias de salir en esas situaciones. La persona que habló el año pasado, ella era una dominicana que se casó con alguien que visitaba la República Dominicana, que era de aquí, dominicano también, y cuando ella se casó con él, todo estaba bien, la familia lo aceptó, ella tenía ya una niña pequeña y le dijo él a ella que los papeles de los hijos de ella no, no se pudieron procesar, que eso fue tiempo. Pues él la trajo a ella aquí y cuando vino a ver, en un año ya le estaba dando golpe que por poco la mató. Ella en un momento se encontró en el baño y la suerte que tenía el teléfono, cogió su teléfono y llamó al 911, 911 y primero llamó a una amistad o familia. Ellos fueron que llamaron al 911. La fueron a buscar, pero lo deportaron, eh, fue a la cárcel porque él estaba buscando. Pero sí ella pudo con la oficina de, de la fiscal del distrito del Bronx, ella pudo entonces traer a sus hijos y le buscaron cómo buscar empleo. Y eso es una cosa bien importante para nosotros entender que en este país las mujeres sí nosotros tenemos que comunicarnos y saber que esto no es algo que aceptamos en este país, que la mujer se debe respetar y para esos hombres que están allá o mujeres también, porque hay mujeres también que abusan de los hijos, de la familia, de los padres, no solamente son los hombres, todo el mundo puede ser víctima. Pero esos que sobreviven una experiencia como esa, también podemos decir que wow, somos fuertes, ¿verdad? Y tener que vivir esos momentos en la mente día a día eh, puede ser bien, bien amargo. No viven en un sitio de depresión. Así que nos vemos el sábado, si Dios quiere. We'll see you on Saturday, God willing, and I hope to see you all there if possibly. We are now on our third week actually, with the introduction to Canva course with Salty Coffee. And that course is available through the P2G networks. We had one last weekend with a group of people who are learning NFTs. So that was pretty interesting because we all had a conversation about what we're learning together. I did not realize that Canva was being used in other platforms to create tokens. And I think it's amazing. And I'm very glad that Miss Ruby from Breakfast with the Thomases, P2G Networks, was available to facilitate and moderate that talk last week. So I'm looking forward to perhaps a new group, but come on in, join the conversation, and if you're ready to do Introduction to Canva, please feel free to reach out or visit p2gnetworks.com, or you can visit www.saltycoffeepodcast.com, and that will be the moment for you to come join the conversation, come join the fast learning, the learning what we're all outside of just podcasting or having conversations in general. It's kind of last week I spoke about Waiting for Superman, the documentary that was published 13 years ago. Feel free to come back to that. Where are we now? Did you discover anything when you listened to that talk? What did you learn about the school system now? Did it work out? I can say that either one. Magnet schools are fine, all that, but to, everyone has their opinion about public education here in the United States, and we really need to start focusing on what we as adults need to learn so that we can teach our children what's important at the end of the day. The metaverse. The metaverse is a place where you can come, create, share your experiences, and hopefully that will be a great time for you to do what you got to do. And the metaverse is like the space that I have is a great space to just relax. So on with the conversation. The the fight that's happening now in Haiti is with the Dominican Republic. I mean, these two countries have been at war for many. This is nothing new. So, as long as we have people and leaders who continue to exploit our people, we will always have catastrophe. The president of Haiti was murdered in 2021. So I don't even think they have a president right now. So, with that said, there's a river called the Massacre River, and name it in French, river. I think it's important for us to understand that when we look at a country who has been fighting for so many years, we have to understand the dynamics of it all. Who is actually running the Dominican Republic? Most of the time, it's not Dominican people, right? And if it is Dominican people, they just have you there like a puppet, where is the 1% of world leaders who have the money who's really overseeing everything that telling other countries what to do. I mean, this is something that countries have been doing for years. And it's interesting because when, as a tourist, you go and visit there as a tourist, you'll find yourself in resorts and in locations and places that are not owned or run by a Dominican person or even a Dominican leader. There are places that are run by Germans, Russians, Chinese, French, and very few spaces are run by Dominicans. If you search hotel owned by Dominican, you will have to search it in Spanish first of all, and second of all, it would not be anywhere near a place where you would find tourists per se. And I don't know if Dominican Republic has the people themselves, right? The people themselves are as in this country, in the United States, we've also been conditioned, right? We've been conditioned to follow what we've been told to do. We, those who are born in the United States, are actually people who are not in the country. We're in a corporation. So we were born to work and function as workers only to run the space so it can to build economic growth for a selected few. So whether we have political guidelines, political um, structure, and whether we have a system with a structure, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're in good standing. This young lady who approached the president, and when he asked her, name another country that is holding non people from that country in maternity death support. And she couldn't answer it. She looked around and asked her other classmates, and she said, the United States, real low. And he said, absolutely not. So I get it. I get that the student was bringing up anger because, yeah, there has been people removed from the country over and over again. They don't call it the Massacre River for nothing. It's one, but when are the people who oversee and run Haiti going to take accountability? For example, France and Canada. When are they going to take accountability? So we have to look at the overall conversation and the overall picture. I'm not one to give my opinion because I do not live in that country. And I don't know what the people who live there are actually going through. So I cannot at all give my opinion, even though my parents were born in Dominican. I can say that, you know, it it's kind of scary, right? Similar to here. It's very scary to live in a place where this is not people who are trying to come to run away from, as refugees because the economic collapse completely. These are people who are running away because there are gangs who are killing presidents. So if you live in a country, wouldn't you want to leave as well? So since the United States is so quick to open their doors and gates for other people, my question to everyone else is why haven't they opened the doors to the Haitians here? Why haven't they? And if the door is open, then why haven't they assisted them to come? Because there's big chaos, and to rely on the Dominican Republic alone is not something that will be feasible to just rely on one country who is actually not all Dominican. Dominican Republic, like the president said, is filled with people from all over the world. It's just not, you got Chinese, you got Germans, you got Russians, you got French. Um, Dominicans are not a race, so there's nothing to, and that was his point. We can't say we're racist. Colorism, yes, that is a thing, but I think the color green is more important than anything else. But I would like to hear your opinion on this. And when people say Dominicans are racist, I wanna hear people say it. I don't want people to, "Oh, I go to visit to the Dominican Republic, it's beautiful, I love it, I had a great time," but outside of the resort, I don't think I can move there. So, is that what you mean by when you the leaders and the people with higher level work, professionalism are, you know, lighter skin, if you will. But, are they providing the education, healthcare? Are they providing the important things to their people? I don't know because I don't live there. And again, I would love to hear what people will have to say truthfully about what they feel about this issue that this country, very small country, is facing. There's actually Haiti is smaller than the Dominican Republic. And, however, there's the population in Haiti is higher than that. I believe there's 12 million in Haiti as of 2021 or 2022, and then there's 11 million in the Dominican Republic. So I would be very curious and interested in knowing what you would have to say about this. I will give you some time to when to put the video, the link to the video. I prefer not to play it on here. Please give me 1 second. We'll do a 4 minute meditation.
Cruising down the street looking fly, looking good, feeling like a gangster should. Cruising down the street looking fly, looking good, just another day in the hood. Cruising down the street looking fly, looking good, feeling like a gangster should. Cruising down the street looking fly, looking good, just another day in the hood.
So the link on I just posted the link on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, so that you can take some time to look at it. Tell me what you feel. Tell me what you think. Please feel free to leave the comments and know that, and the sad part about all of this, right, is that this was the part that came out and went viral. And this is where I try to get, not try, but this is where I get confused and frustrated because other students brought up other um, issues that the country is experiencing today, such as climate change, post COVID, um, you know, the infrastructure, and you had students who were engineers, students who were in the medical field, who brought up great conversations about asking the president what can they do because this is their field of learning, right? As engineers, as environmentalists, uh, what can they do to help the country? For example, the young man who came after her, he asked a very great question. He said, I'm from Santo Domingo, which is the capital of the city. of Dominican Republic, and he asked, "What can we do? Because when I go to visit, I notice that there's a lot of trash in the beaches. What can we do as students to help fix that problem?" And the president gave a very beautiful response to him. He said, "Reach out to me. Let's work on it." And for me, those were the ones that really meant the most to me. So when something to the point of telling someone that your country is racist, um, that you have you through colonialism, you're still treating people with discriminate in a discriminatory way. I think that's real important, a conversation to have and a real conversation to have. However, I feel that the other ones could have also gone viral. Um, the ones where students had solutions to the current issues and problems. Those are the ones that I wish can also go out um, and be spoken about and say, look, here are some American Dominican students who are currently in international affairs, who are currently studying environmental uh, engineering and the medical field, who are looking to ensure that they let the president know that they are able and willing to participate in making the country better for themselves because they are Dominican American and they have family there too. So I think this is what I want to see more. I want to see not the negative issues go viral, but I also want to see where the positive ones also go viral. And unfortunately, that's not how this country works, but who knows? Um, People don't want to talk about these things. People want to entertain for entertainment and for hateful messages, and pretty much that's what it's all about. So, what are we gonna do as Salty Coffee? What are we gonna do to understand each other, understand what people in that country are going through? What are we gonna do as first generation to go back and explain to people how they're being treated is wrong? Or you can't really go to another country and expect people to understand you because that's how they were born and raised, right? It's how the culture is for that country, and that's not me making excuses for other people not understanding that there's a world out here. And Dominican Republic is a real small country. But to really truly understand that there's more important things in the world, and helping others understand how the world will work moving forward collectively, globally, to me is more important. You can She did a great job in letting us know how we already been functioning, how we already worked. She did a great job in doing that. However, was she rude in her response? Was she rude in letting the president know how she felt? Because again, he said to her, "That's your opinion." That's something very important to listen to. When a president says that's your opinion, I think it's important for us to dig deep and say, is it her opinion? Because she's like, no, these are the facts. Um, but again, history tells us that Haiti and Dominican Republic has always had an issue. Um, and I think it's important for us to have that conversation. It's important for us to understand that there are some world leaders who would be very diplomatic in their response. And as students, we should also be understanding and, you know, be respectful. Be respectful to because like my rebuttal, it wasn't a debate for one, which I don't know, maybe it was. But he's running for office again. So we'll see about that. I don't know if he was trying to sugarcoat and speak on a level for the elites in DR. That happens here too. You know, you will have a candidate running for office here, and next thing you know, everything they promised you, none of it is happening. In fact, the total opposite will happen. So I think again, it's really important for us to listen to those leaders and try to listen to the people who actually live in DR and ask them, are they racist? Ask the people because in most cases they will tell you yes. And in many cases they will tell you yes, I've been treated in an unfair manner because of the color of my skin. So I think we have some studying to do. There's a book that I actually read on here. It's called Why the Cocks Fight: Dominicans, Haitians, and the Struggle for the Hispaniola by Michelle Walker. I encourage you to either get the book in the library or because exactly how Dominican Republic was established and created or funded or founded, it's is what they're going through now. And just like in every country, you have corruption. You have corruption here in the United States. You have corruption in every corner you turn. And I think it's important for us to now move forward and pretty much just try to figure it out, right? So I'm going to change the subject. Let's see. How do I change this? Give me 1 second and we'll come back. Let's take a little 2 minute meditation. Well, that was great. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who are new to Salty Coffee, please feel free to visit www.saltycoffeepodcast.com. And for those of you who are coming back, thank you for coming back. I want to share with you a little bit about what's happening with P2G Networks. So, P2G Networks is a group of people who their concept is each one teach one, and we're learning together how to use blockchain, cryptocurrency, private banking, status correction. And if you already heard these terms before, I think it's important for us to continue to reach those spaces. They have breakfast with the Thomases Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. But I do have a question for some of you. What is the one thing that you definitely do on Sundays that's going to make your week a better week? Do you just sit at home and let's see, sit all day or get ready for the week? So that's going to be the topic now. What are you mostly doing on Sundays? Do you sit all day or you get ready for the week? Because Sundays is the day that I usually take care, usually the day that I take care of myself, whether that be a full on head to toe spa day. I literally sit down, get my hair done, conditioned. I have a lot of hair, so that takes a lot of time. Pedicure, manicure, and I have a personal sauna that I can use to detox and feel great. And I think this past weekend, well, Friday, um, I experienced one of the most stressful days due to the rain, but it was due to not me being prepared, but I found myself doing something that other people wanted to do. And again, I think this is one of the reasons why I'm single, because I think um, I'm not good with not preparing, um, like spontaneous. I can be spontaneous, I can, but if I'm available and ready to be spontaneous. And I think sometimes we get caught up with dating someone or being around someone, and then all of a sudden that changes. So earlier we had a talk about what's happening in Dominican Republic with the campaign of the new president. So if you missed that talk, please feel free to come back to that. But right now we can talk about self care Sundays and how important it is. My dog is acting up. Please excuse me. Hold on. Let me just open the door for him. I tell you. Hopefully he'll be quiet. Hey, Madame Titi, how are you? I have a question for you. Um, and I guess people don't like politics. People don't like to talk about politics because as soon as I changed the subject, people started walking in. But I do have to say that Sundays is the actual time and day that I take to go over my bills, go over my emails, go over anything that I needed to learn or just prepare for the week, get my clothes ready. And I've been doing this for 33 years. every Sunday. When I had children, it was a little harder because I had to then also help them learn how to help themselves and prepare for the week for themselves. So it's kind of difficult now, that it's just me and the dog. Um, it's pretty much easier, and I think I enjoy it also because I have nothing to worry about and I'm stress free, and I um I sleep better at night when throughout the week when I know that everything is set up in a way where I just get up, get ready, my clothes are ready, I check the weather. I mean it just flows. And I'm just looking at my dog. Sorry. It just flows, and I think it's so important for us to really get to know ourselves. For example, if we know that we are procrastinators, I think it's important for us to find out why and what tips I can give you so that you don't. I could be a procrastinator also, but it depends on the urgency and the priority of that item. I think most of us think too much for certain things. Me right now, I don't really think too much. One of the things that I've been successful at work is people always say, "Why do you make, why do you make your job look so easy?" And I think it's because I had to, through therapy, I had to learn that we have no control over what happens. I've already been through September 11. I've been through a couple of hurricanes. I've been through a couple of fires. I've been through a couple of reorganizations. I've been through a lot of layoffs, not myself, but within the institution. I've been through so much. And throughout that time, people are like, oh, wow, you're still here and you're so calm. And I think it's because if you take the time to just sit down and know yourself and enhance your skills and know what to look forward to before the department tells you. Like some people have said that I may be the witch of the office because I have predicted many things and sometimes I have to be quiet because um those predictions I've voiced out and people are like, "Wait a minute. How does she know this is happening?" But some things are just common sense, right? And when a institution hires people that they only qualify because of the degree that they have, I think that's a big problem. I think that's created chaos because having the degree is one thing, but having the experience to me is way better. Um, at some point, you will gain the knowledge and the experience, but when do you actually coming out of college and stuff like that? When do you sometimes even working in the degree that you've established, right? When you find that job or the career, you really won't know um, what you're doing wrong until you do it wrong, right? Until you make a mistake. And sometimes the mistake could be detrimental to a lot of people, whether that be monetary, where the company has lost a lot of money because you added a couple of zeros in error or deleted a couple of zeros, or you just clicked the wrong button and erased everything, the data or whatever. But I think it is important for all of us to pay attention to ourselves and what ticks us. When you go to work, please understand that nobody is your friend, a real friend. You can create friends and you can have friends, but at the end of the day, you really need to be mindful about that. Not everybody is your friend, and everybody for some strange reason, everybody is like in some ball of I need to do better. I need to why is that? And I spoke about that last week in the Waiting to Superman episode because one of the things that the United States, while we're very low on education, one of the things that we're very high at is self-confidence. What gives us, the United States children or people, the self-confidence that we can do things when we are horrible at math and horrible in comprehension when reading? What is it about that? And this is why other countries love Americans, because we pretty much, if we notice that a boxer can make millions of dollars by punching someone else out in the first round, they're like, wait, I've been studying since I was a baby. And, the level that they're in other countries is way higher than ours. But we're still happy. We're still happy with bare minimum. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people hate that about Americans. Like, what are you talking about? You're voting for the wrong people. Your democratic system doesn't work well. You're living in poverty because you will always live in poverty. You are part of a corporation. You're not a country. So those conversations for me, I can have them through Monday through Friday, but on Sundays, I really take some time off to reflect on what I do know and what makes me be a better person for the next week. What can I give and contribute to my community? My dog is out of control. You're out of control, sir. What is going on? You want a treat? Oh my goodness. What do you have in your mouth? I wish you can all see him, but he's a hot mess right now. Um, thank goodness it's not raining today because he is a hot mess. So I think going back to self care Sundays, um, that's one of the things that has helped me to be able to come to work on Monday. M- Mondays is horrible for everybody because you had a great time on the weekend. You were off. Not everybody's off on weekends, but really spending time with yourself and just learning something new throughout the week and just really taking some time off to think about what it is that is making you frustrated. Why are you so frustrated on a Monday? People, oh my goodness, what in the world? Guys, I'm telling you, my dog is out of control. Um, hold on. I need to get him out. Ugh. All right. You're, you're now he's gonna be mad. Yeah, my dog is out of control. But feel free to. So far we have get ready for the week. And another thing is who created the work week? Um One of the reasons why we have work weeks is because unions. If it wasn't for unions, we would be working 7 days. Oh, cuz according to the this is what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but according to the Bible, it really says that you have to work all 7 days. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, it's because the unions you have weekends. Had nothing to do with the government telling you, yeah, we're gonna give you some days off. That's not. Child labor laws was also created by unions. So, Vintram, how are you? Long time no see. Where have you been, sir? I heard great things about you and what you're establishing here, and I appreciate you. But feel free to leave a comment. I think sometimes um, we overestimate ourselves in our capacity of what we're able to do. There is 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week. And if we sit down all day and don't take care of what we need to take care of, sometimes we need to look into ourselves and find out what that is all about and why it's treating us and eating us up. But I'm hoping that some people will vote sit all day. Just saying. And they did. They actually did. So we have one vote and three votes in total, which is not that bad for a Sunday morning. Um, I also know that people are watching football or getting ready to watch football. I am in a all female fantasy football league here in Stereo app. And for now, I think the first week I was number one. The second week, because I was listening to them and making some changes, I don't know what I was doing, but I went down to number 5, and now I'm all the way back up to number oh, I'm all the way back up to number, let's see, where am I? The league, number 3. Yep. So,
Obviously, there's priorities to do, catching up with yourself, with the house, and all the stuff for the week. That's good. But if not, nothing. But anyway, just listening. Hope you're doing well. Ta-ta.
yeah, I wish you were on my earlier talk today because um I really wanted to grasp your opinion and see if you had clicked on the link that I had earlier, just because I want to get your opinion on what's happening now in I think I'm offline on stereo, but let me give it a second. Thank you those who are listening to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Welcome. We changed the subject. That's fine. Okay. I think I'm still connecting on YouTube. I'm sorry, on stereo. If you can hear me on stereo, please send a heart. If you can't, then I know you're not sending me a heart because you can't hear me. But those are the things that frustrates me about these apps. One of the things that I really wanted to know from you, Madame Titi, is what are your thoughts of what's happening? And if you have any family over there, what are they saying? I remember being told, you just don't know what's happening. Even when I've mentioned, yeah, I don't think, let me see something. All right. Am I back? Hello? Hello? Okay. Hold on. Oh, I think let me make sure. Get off here. All right. Let me do a quick. Mhm. Wow. Okay. So sorry about that. I had to literally just leave and come back because I was frozen. But in any event, thank you, Madame Titi, for leaving that message. I truly appreciate it. And I think to end this talk for 1 hour, I wanted to know your true thoughts about what's happening in Haiti and Dominican Republic right now. If you're not aware of what's happening, please reach out. If you have any thoughts about the comment that the young lady made about Dominicans being racist, colorist, transphobic, homophobic, and so on, please let us know. Let me know if you watched the video, post it there on the comments. Let me know if you were able to um, listen to the entire talk, the entire again, people love to highlight and make the hateful, disrespectful comments go viral. But I encourage everyone to listen to the entire meeting and speech that the president had. Um, so, Madame Titi, you're back. I know these are not the conversations that people like to have, but a young lady came up, and you probably are not aware, or maybe you are, and you're just like, okay, that is her opinion. But she said that Dominican Republic is a racist, transphobic, homophobic country. And what was the president going to do to change that? And he responded by saying, hey, we come in all forms. We are not just Dominicans. There's not no specific race. We come from all over the country, and that's just your opinion. And she, she responded back by saying, no, that is not my opinion. That is facts. And then she specifically wanted to talk about the Haitian women that are in the Dominican Republic in the maternity beds. The president responded by saying, hey, there's 35% of of beds that are being used by Haitian women today. She responded by saying, oh, yeah, and those people are being deported back. I read a couple of data where Haitians, but there's nothing new for 2023 or 2022. I did see after the president's murder from Haiti, I did see that the numbers went down. However, I did also see that there are 12 million people in Haiti versus 11 million in the Dominican Republic. With that said, you don't have to give your opinion now, but I think I encourage you to watch the talk that the president had here in the United States at Columbia University and the questions that the students asked. There was some engineering students who had awesome solutions to the infrastructure of the Dominican Republic post COVID. There were some medical students and also students from the international public affairs who also provided their suggestions and recommendations on how to make the country better for all. And it's interesting to see how people are quick to judge and criticize other countries, but are not even aware that their country, their own country, are not even helping their own people. So I encourage people that before you listen to statements that become viral because they're filled with hate, to pretty much go out and do your own research on your own. Again, you have been to resorts that are not owned by Dominicans. So the hiring practices there has nothing to do with the Dominican people per se. It has to do with the practices of, like she said, we're colonialized. So, of course, we have the Eurocentric people who come over from France, Germany, China, to run businesses. In most countries, that's what we want. We want people to establish the economic system to make it run, to make money, right? Unlike the United States, where we are a corporation, we are the energy that runs the economic system, if we want to call it that.
Hola, hola, Salty. I actually was coming in when I saw the title. I was like, oh, yeah, let me go listen to that. But then I jump into the Self Care Sunday. I do, will keep it on mind because I have an issue listening to all the shows, but I am putting a practice and I am going to keep practicing with you. So I'm going to listen to it because I did saw that it got viral. And what can I say? I am in the spaces that like if it doesn't really add up, I just thank you next. But if I have to say something about it, let me send this one.
Yeah, I think so. I was just hoping that um, working for the university, right? Living in New York City and having family who live in the Dominican Republic, I find it rude for an American student to come in with facts, right? And that's okay. You can come in with your facts, but you're not really understanding what your own country is doing to you first. And that's where I'm having a difficult time understanding, not so much this generation. I mean, I'm all for everyone to be treated equally, I'm all for it. But the president made it very clear that there's issues right now with a particular part of the river that years ago, maybe a whole century ago or more, there was an understanding that they will share that river with because it's a river and it's running from both countries, so that they will share that river with the water. And I think it's more than just being racist or colorist. I think it's about the dangers that, I mean, the president of Haiti was murdered. So, you know, with that said, how are the people feeling about just gangs coming into your country? Well, as the president, you have to take care of that.
I haven't looked at the whole
Yeah.
conversation I did saw when they were doing the highlight, that she was making the questions. And I feel overall she was kind of rude. And that's where I say people don't know how to have arguments. People just know how to not even have discussions. It's just like everyone starts getting on their feelings, feeling offended or feeling defensive. And ultimately, is your president or is the president of the Dominican Republic. Yes, we're humans, but I felt like that line of respect, was a little bit crossed. So at least that part of what I saw. I did like how he responded
Mhm.
because it was like, let me tell you, let me tell you. But then again, we go back, it's different culture, different infrastructure. And it's so easy for people on the outside just to comment without actually even knowing how it's life there.
Exactly. I think that's true. And that was the poll earlier. Was she rude or was she right? And you could be right? But you could be diplomatic about it. And I think that's the part where she's going to learn the hard way, that now she's viral. I've seen plenty of comical, which to me it's not funny, but there's a lot of comical conversations with him. And I think um she's pretty much going to learn the hard way, um you know, how to, cuz she just left. She's like she kept interrupting him. He let her talk. The good part of what she did was the earlier part. She stated, what has happened. She stated, what's continued to happen. But the murder of Trujillo, the dictator, that didn't happen until the 60s. We're still, 60s is not that long time ago, and civil rights movement here in the United States was also in the 60s. There was a lot of stuff going on in the 60s, early 70s, and then you had the drugs in the 80s, where new presidents will come in with new laws. But it's really about control and who's controlling it at the end of the day. But when you say that the people, like, I understand that a president of a country represents its people, and in most cases, not a lot of people voted for that president. And a lot of people are saying he doesn't represent me, right? So, and that's the part of the respect that I see that you're saying. You have to be respectful. It's just the right thing to do. We're so here in the United States, we're so used to disrespecting our leaders that they think that's okay to do it elsewhere. I'm hoping that that's not what she's learning, and that when you really want to get your point across, um, there's ways of doing it without being disrespectful.
And ultimately, I think, in every way, everything, as soon as you open your mouth, is like, what's the intention? And I felt that the intention there was to portray an image with, because obviously there's a situation with the Haitians. I don't know how it is right now, but I do know there was like some closing out of borders, so yes, it's a tricky situation, but then again, it's like people just want to highlight like the parts that they don't like, but we don't have the full context. So is it really a right judgment? But anyway, I keep on listening, darling, because as I said, I haven't see beyond, like the little snippet I saw at some point when it got viral. And I was like, because that's the thing, everyone's gonna have an opinion, and unfortunately the people on the outside, because of the way we move, have some already thoughts on how we are. And that's the thing, it's a generalization.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it could be a campaign to have people not come to Dominican Republic, or not have them move forward or grow. It's one of the smallest countries that has grown post COVID and is still functioning, not in a very economic way where I can say everybody has a job and everybody, there's no poor people. But at the end of the day, the medical is being provided to the Haitian women, and those are the ones that the young lady was saying that are being, sent back or told to leave. And he said that that's not true. But again, when you're a president of a country, you're really not paying attention to the local level. And again, that's why it's so important here in the United States that we focus on local level legislation, because even the United States is not as united as it should be, right? You go from one state, there's a set of laws there. You go to another state, and again, that's why it's not really a country, it's a corporation. And depending on what state you live in, the laws may be different for you. And to me, that doesn't even make sense, right? And that's the confusing part to some students who are still learning. She's sat down and read a couple of books, and from that, and a little bit of research, and from that is, to me, where she's concluding that Dominicans are racist, transphobic, homophobic, etc. But you really need to live in the country. I've always said this. You really need to come live in the Bronx to really know what's happening in the Bronx, right? I've said that all the time. I can't say anything about the French because I've only been there for 7 days and I had a great time. And in most cases, I didn't have a good time. I didn't like it. It's not a place that I would go back to visit. But I also wasn't in France, France. I just went to the place where all the tourists go. So the same thing here in New York. People come to the tourist area and they're like, oh my God, I can't deal with it. How do you guys live there? Not everywhere in New York or New York City is like downtown Times Square. So, you know, uh, she's still young and hopefully she will be inspired to continue her research to prove him wrong, right? Because the objective as a student in an Ivy League, especially an Ivy League institution, is to create your qualitative, quantitative research and come up with a solution to the problem. Hopefully, I don't know, she stated if she was a undergraduate or a graduate, but most of the students that were there were undergraduate. I happened to be there myself and thought it was very rude. But there was other groups of students who are first generation and second generation as well, who reacted towards his speech and said, we are a group of students. We're not here to ask any questions. We're here to provide solutions. And so, yeah, I do encourage you to watch the entire thing because, again, I feel like those other ones, those other students should have been also gone viral about the infrastructure, about the environment, post COVID, the medical, the mental health. Those were topics that are 100% important. We have to understand the country that we live in to fix it, right? We have to understand why. If you want to claim that a country is racist and all these other things, there's a reason why. And again, some of the leaders are not the people who are running the country. Some of the leaders are other countries who are imposing on did you want your country to work and grow? You need to follow our system because it works. The poor will remain poor and the rich will get richer. And if that's what the country wants, then I have to reconsider if I want to actually move down there. But I don't think that's what it is.
You know, I did like the initiative because like closes that gap between the new generation and the older. But I think that's the work that needs to be happening more, and not only in a like in a concentrated but like international way, because that's how we can learn how other cultures move. We can appreciate our own because the more I live here in Europe, baby, I am so grateful I have like I'm not gonna say I'm a full representation of Dominican, but I do have values that enrich me as a person, and I am glad that I can indirectly, because ultimately, right, that is my nationality. In a way, represent as we are who we are. But yeah, there's many things still to align to correct, I'd say, but I go again, it all starts with the intention, and I feel the intention there wasn't a good one.
I'm glad you gave your opinion, and I'm glad that you stated that because I was beginning to feel like, what, nobody's gonna tell me? Like, okay, let me do a poll here on stereo alone. Racist, homophobic, transphobic. Like, do you? When it comes to people again, I don't think so. We hear conversations over and over again about that. We hear conversations, but we also hear conversations about people. Oh man, I loved it when I went there. It was great. I had a great time. Oh my God, the women, the food, the culture, that's something also. But me, as a person who used to go visit, I never went to visit the tourist area. I used to go visit my family. And now I'm visiting the tourist area because My family refused to cook for me. But I'm thinking, let's see what we can do as millennials, Generation X, to build that bridge, to connect that bridge so that people also just don't have to go to resorts, that they can actually be in a neighborhood, be amongst other people who actually grew up there, was born there, lived there, have lived there, was educated there, and are have beautiful careers. I have family members who are teachers, who are dentists, are in the medical field, and it's not all about being poor. And not to say that it's similar like to Cuba where everything is free, but for most part, the medical field is free for a lot of people.
I want, it's all the countries, and I want to believe even people, we have these dualities, we have the good parts, we have the bad parts, and it's just a matter of who is seeing it. Because it can be true, maybe that girl had the experience of the Dominicans in her life, or the Dominicans she came across were racist and homophobic. I'm not saying we are not, but that is a generalization. And I want to say in the culture, because I can maybe understand the way that could be understood. We do have some racist inclinations, but I feel it's not toxic. It's just something that was learned by experience. Negrita, el negro lo tiene hasta detrás del oído, like those kind of things. But I feel they're more just a portrait of the reality. There's white people and there's black.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and as a kid, you know, I don't know if it was a thing where the stereotype of black people here in the US was brought over like, but that was an American thing that did that. The film industry, Hollywood did that to because people still in other countries are like, wow, you know, I don't know if it's changed in 2023 where people are like, oh, is this what you're watching? Is this what they have on the TV in France, that all black people are criminals and we just go to jail, and you have the Teen Mom and 48-hour show and whatever. I don't know what other countries have on their Hollywood, filming industry, but a lot of people will take that and look at that and conclude, oh, okay, so this is how they live. This is what they all do, which is, we know it's not true. But
And there's some trigueños and there's some chinitos even in the Cibao, like there's everything. And yes, Dominican Republic is the is the real melting pot.
the real melting pot.
And I feel kind of sad when I think of that, because we have all the nationalities, less the Tainos, because right, unfortunately, we're exterminated. But I don't believe as nationality we are is it's tricky, because I start thinking, in the people that have this hatred against the Asians, the way of speaking, because that's the thing too. We as Dominicans sometimes just talk and don't look at the weight of words. Um, it is a big, interesting debate indeed.
Yeah.
So that's why people gotta make the time to travel so they can make their own research and their own opinions for themselves. Period.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When people say, oh, you live in the Bronx, and I had a friend come to pick me up and drop me off, and they were like, oh, this is why I don't live here, because of traffic. Needless to say, I don't drive. I don't have to drive. And I only spend $130 a month for unlimited transportation here in the city. So this is how poor people need to live, right? But I do have my driver's license, but it makes no sense for me to have a vehicle here. And again, I had this conversation before where people will do everything and anything to save on paying taxes or any community, county, tax, right? So what's happening in New York City, which probably happens in a lot of cities like Santo Domingo or in Port de France, is that yeah, in Haiti, where people will say they live somewhere else by paper so that they don't have to be responsible for paying taxes, but they're physically in New York City, making New York City money so that they don't have to pay the taxes somewhere else. So that's a big problem here because if I'm filling out the census and I'm only showing that there's only 1,000 people in this zip code, when in fact, physically, there's 3,000 people, of course, there's going to be more violence. There's going to be less services, and public transportation is going to be chaos, which is what's happening now post COVID. But I'm gonna close it. I don't know if you left, but I'm gonna close it today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I encourage all of you to listen to the full conversation with Colombia. It's called the Colombia World Leaders Forum, and you can type in Presidente Luis Anibader, and you'll find the full one. It's ironic that they did not post on their website the one with him, but everybody else. So I'm trying to figure out where and what happened to that. Oh, he's there. So if you go to worldleaders.columbia.edu and you click on videos, you'll find it September 18th. President Luis Abinader Corona of the Dominican Republic. So feel free to watch the entire video there. For those of you who are just walking in, we're closing out. Have a great Sunday. Hope to see you next Sunday. Hopefully, I will be with Madame TT here, and we're gonna talk about what we're going to discuss next. So, if you're available, come on over. If not, come on the replay. We're also live streaming on our website and www.saltycoffeepodcast.com. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch on at Salty Coffee Podcast. And hope you have a great day. Take it easy. Don't sit all day and get ready for the week. Hey, fun guy. You gonna leave a message? You should close it out. I'll wait. Do 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 do. Saturn, Uranus, Uranus. How are you? Well, isn't that interesting? I thought that looks like the your photo looks like the water barrier. Is that what the photo is? Do 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 do. Aquarius hey, Aquarius the visionary. Didn't even know that was you. You threw me off with the Saturn Uranus. Uranus. Uranus, how are you doing? We had a long talk about let me ask you this. Do you think Dominicans are racist, homophobic, transphobic? And be honest and tell us why. If not, you don't have to leave a message.
Well, I'll leave a message for you. Shout out to you, my Aquarius sister, Salty Coffee. I hope you have a marvelous self-caring Sunday. and prepare yourself. You always want to prepare yourself. And also, after you finish preparing yourself, you can sit down and have a nice, cup of coffee, a nice cup of coffee, you know, respectfully. But nah, enjoy your day, all right?
All right, thank you. So yeah, the conversation earlier was the Masca River, which it's the river that divides Haiti and Dominican Republic, and the viral video that went out with the student who claimed that Dominicans are racist, transphobic, homophobic, and pretty much discriminatory. But with that said, I was gonna close it, Aquarius Visionary, but thank you for stopping by. And if you start a talk, I'll be on the listener side. But you can also watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, where I will continue all of the commercials, the podcast. All right. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.
You are able to break free from terrible situations. You should be extremely proud of yourself. Always have that pride in yourself because you matter and you are important. And no matter how somebody else tries to make you feel, you can rise above that because you're better than that. You are amazing and always know that.
Este mensaje es para aquella persona. This message is for those that are here listening to my story or know someone that's going through the same deep, dark tunnel. No permitas nunca que alguien amarre tus manos, te vende tu boca. Never allow anyone to tie your hands, to cover your mouth. No more silence. We're going to ask for and accept help. We're going to be indestructible warriors. We're going to unite the strength of justice because we have professionals supporting us. Acompañada de la justicia, podemos gritar no más.
I survived. So can you. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I choose the word survivor because I'm not a victim. I'm still alive, and I'm still here. You have turned your pain into a purpose. And that is so important to those who feel that they're helpless and that they don't have any hope. You are there for them. You are an absolute inspiration to them, and you are inspiration to all of us.
Ya no sabes lo que pasa. El primer verso, papi. Lo que manda aquí la clave. Este ritmo guaguanco. Esto es lo que existe. Y también está mi chamaco. Nadie nos resiste. Aquí estamos bravos. La chema tan brava. Esta vida es brava. Y yo también soy bravo. Por eso lo que repica son los cueros. Aquí lo que suena fuego. Mueve la abuela el pescadero. Hasta lo mueve el aduanero. No norte al sur, lo ves moviendo, la orilla el mar, lo ves sonriendo, y yo sé lo que tenemos no es para juego y esto divino, por eso lo que hacemos gritar tu mano con ritmo letales.
Today is about branding, like really focusing on who you are, what do you want to do, and how to collectively bring all of your social media to one idea, which is your brand. And then, the courses will, you can pick whichever you want, wherever level you feel that you are. I think that's going to work best. And then you'll continue, it's up to the person to see where they are based on the first course. But I love I think it's the second to last, where it's, what does that say? Scheduling, exporting, and importing. I think that's the one that people can really utilize a lot. But again, everybody comes in at different levels. Beginner.
So I want to share something with you guys. The only way to get this amazing class is to get on P2G Networks. Hit the class button, the class link, which is in the window that says classes, and sign up for whichever one of the platforms you would like, because all of Salty Coffee's programs are in there. She's going to show you not only how to bring out your brand, but we're going to show you how to create your brand, prepare your brand, and defend your brand. Let's get it popping. I'm really excited about this. See you soon. And don't forget, everything happens every week. And thank you so much for being on with us and doing what you do. Peace and love.
Anytime. Have a good day. I love you. Mwah.